I have an older computer, y'all, so you gotta just grin and bear it. So this is now part 2. She took a short step back, ending the kiss, and smiled and looked up at him. Okay, cowboy, you promised me food. So while we eat, let's go talk about how we're going to tell Daddy this news. This is page 223. Burgers, Mexican, or a plate for dinner from Mama Joe's, he asked. The cafe, she said. The Monday special is meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I love those hot rolls they make there. Let's take my truck, then I'll bring you back for yours when we're done. He laced his fingers through hers and led her out of the room. They stopped at the front desk, and Mary Beth handed them a card. You will be back from your honeymoon by then, right? Yes, ma'am. Pax tucked the card into his pocket of his chambray work shirt. What time? Elena asked when they were outside. 9 in the morning, he answered. But you've got enough on your mind, so it will be my job to remember this. When we get to the cafe, I'll put it on the calendar on my phone. Thank you. She butted him with her lip. What else do you have on that calendar? Well, there's our wedding, of course, the honeymoon information, and the... He paused and wondered if he would be saying too much, but then he plowed right on. The day that 6 weeks is up. That's June 17th. So could it be over by that time I come back to the doctor for my next visit, she sighed. Possibly, but miracles do happen, he said, as he helped her into the truck. I'd consider it a miracle if he made it to July 4th, she said. Pax wasn't about to tell her that he just hoped Matt was able to walk her down the aisle for the wedding. That seemed to mean so much to her as well to her father, but Matt was moving slower and shuffling more with each passing day. Would he still have the strength left to pick up his feet and walk Elena down the aisle on their wedding day? He got behind the wheel and headed toward the 3-block section downtown in that little local cafe where they all had Sunday dinner the day before. We could call your dad and have him meet us at the cafe and tell him there that I'd feel a lot better in a public place. Why's that? She asked. He won't have access to a shotgun, Pax told her. He and Mam would both tease us about starting a family, but I'm the cowboy and that got your daddy's baby girl pregnant, and he might not be too happy about that. I need some more time to wrap my mind around it, Elena said. You sure are taking this calmly. He parked in front of the cafe and went around to open her door. He offered a hand to help her out, and she took it. Then he put his hand on the back and guided her across the sidewalk to an old-fashioned screen door. I hope they never replace this old wooden door, he said. Gives the place more character than the ones that are made of aluminum and glass that open automatically. Yep, Elena agreed, but her tone was curt. Did I say or do something wrong, he asked. She took his hand and then pulled him toward an empty booth at the back of the cafe. She slid all the way to the far end one side and patted the seat beside her. Sit beside me, not across from me. Yes, ma'am, he said. Now, would you please answer my question? You didn't do anything wrong, she said. My brain is whirling around like one of those whirly gigs we used to get on when we were kids. We'd hang out the back window of the truck and they'd go real fast so that it was just a blur. Well, that's my thought pattern right now. I want to grab something and hang on to it to prove that I'm sane, but everything is going at warp speed. Grab onto this. He leaned over and kissed her on the lips. When he pulled back, her eyes looked different. Ever since he barged into the doctor's office, she had that look of a lone crippled prairie chicken at a coyote convention. That's grounded me pretty quick. She picked up the menu from the table. Thank you, Pax. Let's forget about the wedding, what we're enduring with your dad, and concentrate on the baby names for the next hour. You really want to name our daughter something? What? She frowned. I'm not too fond of these newfangled names folks are using, like Stormy or Rain, but honey, something is sure way out there as far as weird goes. He tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear and kissed the lobe. I was thinking maybe we named her anything instead of something, or maybe even everything. What in the hell are you talking about? She frowned. Have you really finally realized that you're going to be a daddy and it's affecting your thinking? 224, 225, and here's 226 and 227 where we're stopping tonight. And I hope to finish this book with you tomorrow. You said yesterday that you wanted to name our baby girl something Joy, he reminded her. She slapped him on the thigh. You know what I meant, but thanks for making me think about something. Her sentence ended abruptly and stared at him with a blank look. I forgot what I was saying. Are you talking about our daughter something? He butted in with a chuckle. No, but every time I say that word from now on, I'll think of a cute little blonde-haired girl, Elena said. Or maybe a dark-haired one with your brown eyes. He laid a hand on her knee and quick. Or maybe a little dark-haired one with your brown eyes. He laid a hand on her knee and then gently squeezed. The waitress brought over 2 glasses of water and set them on the table. Can I get you some appetizers, something to drink other than water? Sweet tea, Pax said. Lemonade, and maybe an order of fried green tomatoes. I'm ready to order now, too, Elena said. I'll have the meatloaf gravy special with green beans, mashed potatoes, brown gravy, a side of salad with ranch dressing. The same, Pax said. Have those drinks and tomatoes right out, the waitress said and hurried back toward the kitchen. Okay, now that we've discussed a girl's name, let's talk about the divorce issue, Pax said. Can we stay married until the baby is born at least? I can't stand the thought of not being there with you. What if you fell or you wanted watermelon at 2 in the morning? The longer we put it off, the harder it will get, she cautioned. Maybe, Pax agreed, or maybe we'll both be ready to call it quits by then. I'll even sleep in a different room if that's what you want, so that at least won't be so that at least you won't be in that big house alone. All alone. Excuse me. That does scare me a little, she admitted. Not that I haven't ever stayed alone, but to actually be there by myself, something were to happen where either or the baby's concern spooks me a little. I can't believe we're talking about this, Pax. When I asked you to help me make Daddy happy with a fake engagement and wedding, I never intended us to have boom boom, much less to do it without protection. I know, sweetheart, he said, but like our folks have told us over the years, everything happens for a reason. And we'll pick up on this book, hopefully tomorrow night. Love you all. Make sure you're keeping your social distance, washing your hands. When you can't wash your hands, using your hand sanitizer. But always wear your mask. God bless. Love each and every one of you. See you tomorrow night.